Especially in music videos or live events, there are times when a video project has 5, 10, even 15 or 20 takes of the exact same action. And it can be crazy overwhelming to decide how to make the right choice in the edit. Thankfully, Premiere has an incredible tool called Multicam, which lets you sync up all of those takes and then view and edit on the fly. So in this video, I want to show you an example of just how powerful it is and how you can put it to use in your projects in just a few clicks. All right, so here we are inside of this music video project, and there are 32 different video tracks all together. Now, we've already gone through the process of syncing these up, and so you can see that if we play through this chorus and start, showing you what's on the top layer of each of these, all of these girls are singing along to the chorus in sync, right? So we now have the beautiful task of trying to figure out, which person or which moment that we have out of these 32 tracks, gets the limelight for each part of the song. So we could either do that, the old-fashioned way and the really hard way, where we play back and we make stat cuts using Command-Shift-K, on the music or something like that. And then we go through and start, disabling these or deleting these and finding out which of these moments is the best. But, with 32 tracks, which is what this project needed, that's going to be a really, difficult job to sort of go through each moment and have all these stacked on top of each other at all times. So let's undo that. And I'm going to show you the power of Multicam, which basically allows us to, see all of these tracks at once, right? So what we can do, it's really quite simple. Now that we've got these all synced up, we're going to go back into our projects, and we're actually going to drag this entire timeline into a new timeline. We're going to rename this multi-cut. And when we double click on this, we're kind of in this same nested sequence, right? So if I click this is leading us back to this nest. But if we right click on this nested sequence and we go down to multi-camera enable, you can see that the shot changes. And then if we enable our multicam view here, you're going to see that all of a sudden we now have all 32 tracks visible right before our eyes. So obviously things get a little crammed here, and you can actually customize how many, layers you have in this multicam view. But right now, if we hit play, you can now see that we have all 32 video tracks all visible to us at all points. So now, if we go back to our chorus here and, we dive into this edit, it's just as simple as actually clicking through and selecting which shot we want for each of these moments in the chorus, and Premiere will automatically make cuts for us so we can then go back and tweak. So let's just hit play, and I'll just randomly kind of click through here. Choose some of the action up here. And you can kind of see all the different performances that are happening, right? So we're very obviously randomly clicking. These are terrible cuts. But the beauty of this is that now we play back and you can see that we have all these cuts here. And so in our program monitor, you can see what's actually going to get exported. And then each of these shots that's selected yellow, it's showing us which shot we selected for that moment, right? And if we want to change anything, once we're paused, we can actually go back in here. So let's say that we didn't like this shot, for this moment right here. Well, I can just, as long as I'm hovered over this shot in the timeline, I can go back and click this, and it's going to switch our entire clip here to that shot that I selected in yellow. And then same here. So now I'm hovering over this shot and we can see that it's this, and I want to maybe swap that out here, right? So as we go, you're going to see that each of these little, yellow boxes changes based on which shot we've chosen for this moment corresponding to that moment in the timeline. So it's a really, really powerful tool that really allows us to get a bird's eye view of the project and be way more objective instead of having these massive stacks. And then when it comes to tweaking stuff, right? So we can still tweak this and it's going to, change all that. We can even keep going, right? And we can keep playing, and you can see that whatever I click, that shot turns red, meaning that it's going to create a cut point. And so again, we could go through the entire song and essentially edit the entire project just, from front to back, just watching back. And so anytime I create this cut point, again, these are represented here. Now, a couple things to watch out for. You may, have set up your multicam, enabled it, set up the view, all that stuff, and you're wondering, why we now have two program monitors here. So essentially, multicam is going to read, and sort of playback whatever is selected here on the bottom. So if we don't have this selected, it's not gonna show us that view. And so as long as we have that multicam view selected, then we're good to go. One other thing to note, that obviously with 32 tracks playing back, all together at once, you definitely need to have a good hard drive working for you. This is all coming from a solid state drive. Additionally, I have my global effects mute selected here, so that any color grades, any effects or anything like that are being muted while I'm making this cut, so that I can view all 32 tracks at once without sort of bogging down my computer. Again, we've got proxies going, so that we're using the lower resolution, giving our computer all the more sort of power to be able to control all of this at once. And so those are just a few sort of technical notes that you can sort of take into this to troubleshoot anything that you're experiencing. I hope that this tool saves you a bunch of time in your music videos, multicam edits, even just interviews or testimonies or anything like that. So hope this has been helpful, and until the next one, happy editing.